Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Penapple and today I am doing the Black Widow's Penthouse speed build. So I am very excited to be doing this voiceover because I built this for Urban Sims Black Widow challenge and she actually picked it. And I honestly am still in shock. I did not think it would get picked. I liked it, you know, I thought it looked pretty, but anyway. Anyways, if you yourself are interested in downloading it, you can find it on the gallery. My origin ID is penappleYT. So this is a a little over 284,000 simoleons. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom build, and it's on a 40 by 30 lot, and obviously it is a penthouse. So when I started building this, I had a couple things I knew I needed to do as per Jen's requirements. She wanted a 4-bedroom, under 700,000, so good there. And she wanted it to heavily feature the vintage glamour pack, which got you there. Everybody loves that pack. I love that pack. I'm way too obsessed with it. And then she also wanted a black and red theme to match her main character, the Black Widow, and Helica's like soul. But yeah. So I'm still kind of celebrating about the fact that it got picked. It's been a huge boost to my YouTube channel and also surprisingly to my Twitter. I am about to hit 100 subs on Twitter, or followers, I guess is the term, yes. And that is honestly crazy to me because really the only reason why I made a Twitter was so I could advertise my YouTube channel better, and so it's honestly astounding to me that has gone anywhere too. But you know, if you don't follow me on Twitter, you can if you want to. I don't know how interesting it is, but apparently almost 100 people think it's interesting enough to follow me, so there we go. But yeah, so before she actually advertised that she had picked this build, I recently hit 400 subscribers on YouTube, and so I just want to thank all of you guys, and especially, you know, my older subscribers and especially my newer subscribers. So if you subscribe somewhere in the middle, I don't care. No, I do. I'm sorry. But yeah, so that's just like, oh my goodness. This is definitely a video that is it's the last video that I'm posting in the year 2016, which is crazy. So it's kind of like a looking back video in a way. But yeah, it's like, oh gosh, 2016 has been a crazy year. But before I get into too much of that sort of storytelling stuff, I will explain I will actually talk about the build now. So basically, because Urban Sims wanted something featuring the vintage stuff pack, glamour, vintage look, I can't talk. I wanted to do more of a sort of art deco build, so it's not intensely art deco. Not that I really even know what that means. I mean, kind of, I don't know. Anyways, but I really love how it turned out. It's very modern, and I love that about it. And it's symmetrical, but not 100%. Like, I needed more space. This build is really small, which is actually one of the reasons why I was surprised that it got picked. There were a lot of other builds that were really great and they were bigger, and honestly, sometimes bigger is better, but like I kept having to expand the shape to add more space, so I was just like, anyways, I was kind of like, oh, maybe I should have done more than 4 bedrooms, but I guess it worked. I don't know. But yeah, so it's a very modern sort of build. The bottom floor is an open floor plan. Then it also has 2 bedrooms on the bottom floor and then 2 bedrooms on the mid floor. And then it has a beautiful office on the top floor, the 3rd floor, and I just love that office. I'm like so in love with it. It's like kind of lofted, and then there's also a gym and a little gardening area to house the cow plant that has killed so many Sims. I thought it would be good to kind of have like like a garden, like, oh no, I'm just really into botany, just ignore this cow plant. No, it's not because I want to kill people. That was kind of my plan there. But yeah, here you can see I am definitely expanding the space. Oh, you know what? There's this part at the very beginning of the build and I wanted to point it out and I missed it. But there is a part where I realized that this lot is lopsided because I wanted to match up the building with the windows. And then I realized that I somehow was lopsided even though the windows were matching up. And then I realized that there is like a extra 1 square overhang on like the left side of the build. And it drove me crazy. Oh my God. And like it's super exaggerated because this build is symmetrical. So it's kind of like obvious that it's there, but oh well. Oh well. Anyway, so those windows I added they kind of peek into the hallway. Those were just like a byproduct of me switching around some stuff, and then I kept them because I thought they looked really cool. But yeah, sorry, I did cut out a lot of coloring, just because this build took me a long time. I forget how long it took me, but once I had sped this footage up 8 times, it was still like 40 minutes long. So I wanted to cut out a lot of the coloring, and also, so I visited my family for Christmas. And I was talking with my mom about my YouTube channel, which is always a little bit funny because I always have to repeat a lot of stuff that I've mentioned before because she doesn't, like, my mom and dad don't quite understand what YouTube is and why it is the way it is, which is, like, understandable. But yeah, so I was telling her, you know, oh, well, I do cut out a lot of my coloring. And she was like, well, of course, that's the boring stuff. And I was like, yes, you understand. Yeah. Anyway, so that's, yeah. No, honestly, I actually didn't tell my parents about my YouTube channel at first, just because I started it when I was kind of doing schoolwork, and I thought they might not be too keen on the idea of me spending this as much time as I do on YouTube. And so I got a few months into it before I finally told them, and then they were like, of course they were like totally chill with it. So I was like, I don't even know why I didn't tell you, but anyways, so they know now, but they don't really watch a lot of my videos, mostly because they can't find it. I don't know. I don't want to make fun of anybody for technological disadvantages, but sometimes it can be really confusing. But yeah, so here I'm, now I'm not. I was about to talk about the kitchen, but I did have the cabinet glitch where it's darker than it should be for whatever reason. But here you can see that this is a lopsided lot in a way because it's not the same on both sides. Like, see what it pains me greatly. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But yeah, here is this office and I love it. I think it is the perfect place for planning murders. Also, if you don't know what a Black Widow challenge is, you should definitely check out Urban Sims. She does a fantastic one. Basically, it's you have a sim and they are trying to kill off all of their husbands and get money and stuff. But yeah, she does just... I have so much fun watching her Black Widow challenge, and so I definitely recommend it. And I will, of course, leave a link in the description box down below. But yeah, so oh my god, what was I even saying? Oh yeah. Urban Sims is just a great Let's Player overall, and she also does some really cool builds, but I definitely try and emulate some of the energy that she has when I do my Let's Plays, and so that really helps me, because I just love how, like, upbeat and, like, intense she is. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, so this would be a really fun office to plot murders in. It's, like, gorgeous, and so... Some of you might be kind of questioning the interior because it's actually very nice, and in a way it's kind of light, you know, it's not like super black and red. There's a lot of white that just cuts right through there, and I did that on purpose, and that's because I did not think that her main character, Angelica, would have a very scary home, because she doesn't look scary on the outside. It's inside that she is very, like, evil, and so, like, she wants people to come to her house, you know, she wants them to see it, and she wants them lulled into a false sense of security, or at least that's what I think. But yeah, here also, I love this. I added in a little wanted poster section, and if you look closely at it, one of the people in there looks like her, and so I sort of imagined her like having her own wanted poster hanging on the wall, being like, haha, they can't catch me yet. So yeah, but yeah, so here's the bedroom, and this bedroom is so great, and like Jen said, the lighting in here is just to die for. I can't take credit for that. That is just The Sims. They have some really great lighting going on. It's pretty intense. I had a little trouble finding blinds here because I did want there to be blinds. I mean, in case she like wants to like woohoo or something. I don't know. Have a little bit of blinds could help. But yeah, so I actually so fun story. I knew that the Black Widow challenge was coming up soon. I wasn't informed before, you know, it went up that I was picked, but she posted, you know, some teaser pictures on Twitter. And so the first one was Angelica in this awesome yellow dress, and she was just kind of standing in front of a fence, which is, you can kind of see the fence in the left part of the screen. And I was like, hey, I have that in my build. That could be my build. And I was trying to like really closely study the picture to see if I could figure out whether or not that was my build. And so I was doing that, and then I realized that Jen had already posted some other pictures, and the moment I saw them, I was like, oh my god, that's my build. I immediately recognized it. Like, I spend so much time with my builds that I don't always immediately recognize them, but I very often am like, that looks familiar, you know? And then it just was, like, I end up putting 3 plants in the corner, in the right-hand corner of this room by the bed, and I immediately recognized them, and I was just like, my plants. Yeah. I am like really cold right now. Like, I run pretty cold, and I was like, it's cold before I started recording, but I didn't want to turn on the heater because it's obnoxiously loud. So now I'm just kind of like shivering here, like, wow, I'm sure that sounded real attractive. But yeah, so I am working on, you know, the master bedroom, and like a lot of things in this house, I really wish it was a bit bigger. Yeah, this build just was a lot smaller than I thought it would be, and, you know, that's pretty much like a lot of the reason why I didn't think it would get picked. You know, I really liked how it looked. Those are my 3 plants. I love those plants. They're my babies now. Weird. Moving on. You know, I really liked how it looked, and I love the interior, but I was just like, this is just going to be too small. But I guess that's what she wants. And, yeah, so she probably will grow out of it at some point, and that's totally fine. Like, you know, and I mean, my builds don't really lend themselves to expanding usually. So when she switches, then that's totally fine. But yeah, so I end up adding in some suitcases by this little couch here, and I imagine that those are already pre-packed with everything that the Black Widow would need to leave in a hurry. There's also like a little fireplace right there, and I just love it. I think that'd be like such a cozy place to like try and seduce somebody. But yeah, those suitcases come eventually, I promise. I'm not just lying. But yeah, oh my god, I am like so cold. I'm like shivering down to my core. But yeah, I also imagine that big poster of the black and white poster with just the red lips as being Angel, and like, you know, I feel like she's like self-absorbed enough to like want to there they are, to want to kind of, you know, put her image across the entire house. But I need to stop using that poster. I have been using it too much. There are a couple things that I want to slow down a bit. And one of them is that giant potted plant that is from the I was gonna say Bohemian stuff pack, but I think it's the movie Hangout stuff pack. So that I want to slow down that, and also the table and chairs that I used for the dining room downstairs need to slow down. It's that in the poster. Yeah. I feel like I've been using it too much, and I don't want everything to get really stale, you know? So I want to keep making new things. But here, I recently discovered that tile. Like, I don't know, maybe I just never saw that swatch, but I was never really interested in that tile before, but all of a sudden it just looks so great. Like, the red looked amazing. Also, I was gonna put a talking toilet in, but then that black and white toilet was just like so awesome. Also, how great will it look when the Black Widow is puking in it because she's pregnant? Oops, spoiler alert. Oh my gosh. So, oh gosh, I'm feeling awkward. But yeah, I also just love that tile next to the sort of striped tile. Like, yeah. I just am really in love with this build. But now we are moving on to the other bedroom. So there are 4 bedrooms in this, and 3 of them have en-suites, but the downstairs bathroom is, you can also access it from the living room, because I feel like you need to have a bathroom that's open to the public, because it's weird. Like, most houses have that. You don't usually have to walk through somebody's room to get to the bathroom. But yeah, so this also has an ensuite, but this is for her daughter, and so I wanted to keep the black and white, but instead I sort of had a yellow theme, and I thought that'd be great because, you know, her daughter isn't exactly like her mom, and she's pretty different. You know, it's the son that, you know, more takes after his mom, and who is more of the favorite, so I thought that worked really well, and I thought it looked really cute. I was showing it to my boyfriend, and he was like, you know, the bathrooms don't really match. Wouldn't they match? And I was like, well, in the real world, yes, but this is The Sims. There are a lot of things that just do not make sense in The Sims, and I am okay with that. But yeah, so I don't even know what to say. This is like such a long build, but I am just really, really in love with it, and I just feel so like lucky that xUrbanSimsx picked it, because I feel like that's going to be a really huge boost to my channel, and it's just such a nice feeling to be recognized. Yeah. I'm just feeling all the warm feelings inside my heart. Just ignore me over here. It's a good way to end off the year for me. So this year, I guess I'll talk about this year. This year has been pretty big for me. I haven't had a bad year, so a lot of people have, and so I'm really so sorry for that. This has been a really hard year for a lot of people, but for me, it's actually been pretty chill. I graduated. I got a bachelor's degree in chemistry, so that was really cool. I mean, that was a long time coming, so, you know, but I am glad to be done with that. I did end up having to do more courses to apply to the grad school I want to get into. So that was a big thing for me. But yeah, other than that, this year I can't really think of anything like really significant that happened. There's that table and chair combination. I just need to stop, because if you've seen the last couple builds, you'll be like, oh my god, can she not think of anything else? And no, I can't. But yeah, I'm gonna try and not do that table and chair combination again for a while. But oh gosh, I can't even really remember this year. It did go by really fast for me. I did get to spend a fair amount of this year actually resting, I think is part of the reason. So after I graduated, my parents gave me a couple months to take off and to rest, and that's actually when I really started my YouTube channel. And so those months were really great because I did 3 summer quarters in a row, so I never had a summer break. And so, also that looked like a pentagon, didn't it? Like, almost, anyway, like a fire, the coffee table there. Anyways, sorry. I get so distracted when I do these. But yeah, oh gosh, I'm so cold that I can't even think of what I'm trying to say next. Let's see. Yeah, but so I got some break time, which was really nice. It was about like 2 months, and then I needed to restart up school again, but luckily this time it was just 2 online courses. Also I was in the process of applying for grad school that like whole time, so it wasn't completely on break. But then, after the course was finally ended, I had like a couple weeks to relax, and I started job hunting, and so I actually did find a job, so I'm really excited about that. I'm also really scared, oh my gosh, there's 2 really big things happening for me in January, and I'm not 100% sure how they're going to affect my channel, so that also makes me a little anxious. I have anxiety, so I'm always anxious, but extra anxious. So the first thing is I will be starting my new job, and of course I'm scared. I'm not quite sure how well I'll do, But I mean, they hired me, so hopefully I do well. I'm also just worried that that job will mean that I have less time for YouTube, and it probably will, but I do have to, you know, make the monies. And then the other really big thing that's happening in January is I have a interview at the grad school that is my dream grad school, and it's actually the only grad school so far that has invited me to interview, so I'm so nervous. Oh my god. I am scared. I am nervous. Having panic attacks. So, but I think it'll be okay. I'm trying not to like blow it up too much, but it's going to be weird. So I'm going to be doing multiple mini interviews instead of like a regular sit down interview. So what that is I will be given a prompt and I'll have 2 minutes to read it, and I'll go into a room with an interviewer, and they will, and then we will discuss it for 8 minutes. And so then they will give me a score, and, at the end of the day, my score will be added together, and that's all that's presented to the admissions committee. So in a way, YouTube has actually really helped prepare me for that, I think, because it's given me a lot of practice just kind of talking for forever. Like, when I first started, I felt like I couldn't talk for more than 5 minutes, but now I can usually do like good solid 10-minute chunks before I kind of get winded or I feel like I need to like recoup. But yeah, so I was really, it is nice that YouTube has kind of helped me out with that. But yeah, so I'm just so scared for January. And so I'm kind of afraid for this year to end, because that means it's January and a lot of stuff is happening, and it's good stuff. It's good stuff to be happening, but it doesn't mean I'm not scared. Yeah. So here I'm working on the kitchen, and I wanted to add a few appliances. And when Jen was playing, I realized there was no space to actually cook. Sorry about that. I tried to play test this, but I probably didn't do it thoroughly enough. So I did have move objects on, like I think the trash chute there. I think it was, I don't know, but you can't access it, so whoopsie. But oh well, nothing I think that's too hard to fix. But yeah, here is the Butler's room, and I actually really love this room. I wanted it to be just black and white, really plain, but also unique in a way, just in case she wanted the butler to have more of a backstory. So it's kind of artsy of a room, and I just kind of wanted that because knowing Jen, her Sims are very like multifaceted. They have huge personalities, and so I thought it could be good to kind of like provide like a stepping stone or something, or you know, just any sort of possibility for that. So I had a lot of fun with that. And then the son's room is right next door to this one, and that one has a black, white, and red theme. Like I said, it also has a walk-in closet. So in some ways this probably should have been Angelica's room, because she does not have a walk-in closet, but oh well. It just kind of, that's how it worked out, because I thought at first that might be a little bathroom, like a little 2-piece bathroom for everybody to use, but I ended up wanting to go with a walk-in closet, and this is because I wanted to keep the symmetry with the elevator. Also, one of the things with the elevator is it opens directly into the house, so that'll be annoying sometimes, I think, when people want to drop by to visit. So, but it's not really my fault. It's more of a game dynamic. But yeah, so I ended up, like, I heard about the competition a few days before I was going to leave for Christmas, and so I built it and I uploaded it to the gallery, and I let Jen know of its existence. And then, you know, it wasn't until I finally got back after break that I could start working on it. So I built this thing a while ago, but I edited it recently, so I am a bit appraised of what's going on, but not 100%. But yeah, there is kind of a lack of computers. I mean, like I said, this build is like a little bit too small for my liking, so. But anyways, I am like so cold. I know I shouldn't complain about it, but I'm like freezing. Also, one of my hands is colder than the other, and that's always really, really weird. Does that ever happen? If that happens to you, tell me in the description, or, you know, comment section. Do that right now. Just type away. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so basically that's mostly what's happening right now in my life. I because of those two huge events that's happening in January, I can't even think past those to like February. Like February just doesn't exist for me right now. But yeah, one of the things I am glad about though is even if I do well in this interview or I do bad, no matter what happens, I do have a job. Well, if I can keep it. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so that is a really nice thing to fall back on. I was really glad to finally get it because I was, looking for like a couple months before I finally got it. So I was really glad that I got it. But yeah, here I added a karaoke corner, and it was mostly because I didn't really know what to do with that corner. So I don't know. I don't know. She might take that out. I would be fine with that. I would probably take it out. Looking back, I'm not too fond of it. I don't know what I would put there. Maybe a piano. That could have been nice. Ugh. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. But yeah, I also strangely really like this like little nook. I don't know what it is about it. I mean, I practically started the little intro for this on the little nook. I just really like it for whatever reason. There's also an outdoor sort of deck patio space. I don't really know what the definition of patio is. I should look that up because I tend to use that interchangeably with deck, and I don't think that's how that works. But there is that space, and it has like a hot tub and a nice little sitting area, and I think the hot tub looks so great. Like, I added a picture in the screenshots at the end of this just because I think it perfect place for seduction. Oh my gosh. This build kind of reminds me a while ago before I started up my YouTube channel when I was just doing builds. I made this really weird like room build, and it's like just a bed and it has like a chair in front of it. And I called it like, I forget even the word for it. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I forgot the word, but moving on. It's a weird one. You can go find it. It's on the gallery. You can go figure out what the word is. But yeah, so here is that gym area, and I like to think that's a good place to get strong because you kind of have to be strong if you want to be killing people off. But yeah, this area is a lot brighter. There is no red to it. It's mostly grays and whites and a little bit of blues and greens. Just because it's actually outside. Everything outside of the house is more calm. Like, there isn't any red on the outside of this build, which was an interesting choice to me because, Jen did ask for red, but I just thought it might look better without it, and so I think it did in the end. But here, I added in that cow plant, and I had to wait for this thing to grow. That was so obnoxious. Like, I was just sitting there for like a couple sim days, just waiting for it to grow, and like I kept having my sim like run up and water it, and then finally it grew, and I was like, great. Just because I wanted to make it clear that this would be the place to put a cow plant if she wanted a cow plant, because otherwise it would just be a weird patch of dirt. But yeah, so I used show hidden objects to get those planter boxes, just because I really like the small little square ones. And so how you would get that otherwise is you'd have your sim level up in the handiness skill and work at the crafting table or bench thing. What is this, Minecraft? And to make those. And so yeah. Oh my goodness, I'm like running out of breath. But yeah, this year just has been really great to me. I really enjoyed this year. I haven't had any big losses, which is really nice. So yeah, it's been such a hard year for a lot of people. I mean, I'm, I don't like to talk about politics too much, but all I will say is I'm not very pleased with the state of the United States politics, and that's all I will say on that. I have enough political talk when I go home with my parents. We have differing opinions, and so sometimes that can get a little loud. Oh my god. I feel like everybody has like that one person or a couple of people. I think I'm kind of the black sheep in my family, so Anyways, but here I'm really proud of this. I combined this little rock table with a planter to make a new looking planter, and I thought it was so cute. But yeah, I continued the sort of symmetrical theme with the hot tub there, and I thought it looked really great. But yeah, so now I am moving on to the architecture of the build, and or not the architecture, what are you even talking about? Oh my god, you've been done with that for like 10 minutes. Or 20, I don't know. But yeah, so I'm doing the landscaping. That's actually the term. And so the landscaping was actually pretty minimal. I thought that that went well with the modern look. Also, I added in these lights, and I love them, but they got messed up when they're downloaded from the gallery, so I'm a little mad at them. But yeah, I thought they really helped accentuate the lines. And I've done this before in a modern build, and I think it can really help to sort of like make the lines of your build look more dramatic, and so I really like that. I guess the only other thing I have to say about this build is that I did go back and alter some of the lighting to make it look better. The lighting in The Sims for the interior often looks a bit too warm for me, so I try and like kind of turn that down a notch, and so I find that at least makes me a bit happier with my build. But we are coming up on the end of this build. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. But yeah, there should be some screenshots at the end, like what, 15 of them? Yeah, I went a little screenshot crazy here. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this build, feel free to give me a like, a comment, or subscribe, especially if you'd like to be notified as to when my next build is. I hope that you guys are all having a really great day. Have a safe and happy New Year's. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye!